thing.
Oh, wait, he had a gig before he got fired, you think?
Yeah, supposedly he was all set to go to NBC.
I did the same thing.
So, you know.
My big mayor's prank in Boston, everyone's like, what are you, nuts? I'm like, I'm not nuts, I'm smart. New York was calling, and they basically told me, they're like, we want to hire you and Anthony, but it's too bad you just signed that contract. And I'm thinking, bing, I'll figure this one out. Because we used to work in radio.
Hey, boss, I was with your sister.
Right. We used to work in radio at a time when you fucked up on the radio and got fired, you always went to a bigger market for so much more money.
You failed your way up.
So me and Anthony were making a name for ourselves in Boston, and all of a sudden New York came calling. There were two stations. It was K-Rock and AW. Both wanted us. We met with all the guys that you know, and they're like, it's too bad that you're under contract. I'm like, yeah, it's too bad. Wink, wink. I saw what they were basically telling me. They didn't say it, but I'm like, I got it, because I understood radio back then. So I went back to Boston.
It's like saying to a girl, it's a shame you got a boyfriend.
Right. And within a month, April Fool's was coming around. I'm pacing my apartment. I'm like, bing, I got it. I called Anthony. I said, Anthony, you know how all these dopey radio guys do the April Fool's pranks that are so stupid. I'm like, why would anyone even believe any of this shit? I go, let's knock it out of the park. So I decided that that day we would tell Boston that the mayor of Boston died in a fiery car accident while on vacation in Florida. And it worked like a charm. We were out of a job 2 weeks later. And then I fly down to Washington to meet Dan Mason, because he wanted to make sure we didn't have horns, right?
Right.
And me and Anthony are like, whoa, we're going to Washington for the night. We packed for the night, and we drive all the way out to some office park to meet Dan Mason, who was head of CBS programming. Because I'm like, I did my job. We're moving to New York. And we had to go down there to make sure we didn't have devil horns. And then to get his approval, like, all right, these guys are okay.
They're human beings.
And they're responsible and all that. And we thought we were going to stay in Washington for the night. And it turns out Dan Mason talked to us for 2 minutes. And he goes, can I call you a cab back to the airport? We were back in Boston for dinner.
It's always radio.
Yeah.
You know, if he can save the price of a hotel room.
Yeah, but the same thing. I went to Boston knowing I got to get us fired so we can move to New York.
That's so great.
And I kept that under my hat for many, many years. And now I finally talk about it. Because people are like...
It never went through my mind that they might have been dangling NBC and he needed to. I don't think that was. You know what? If that was something he calculatedly did, he certainly would have told people that he calculated.
Well, there's also a time that you would get away with a lot of that stuff. Then radio changed when you started doing those over-the-top things. They were firing disc jockeys left and right. Didn't matter how big you were. In our case, with the St. Patrick's Cathedral incident.
I could go hoarse from how much I defended you. You know, if you're not Catholic or if you're not religious,
right,
that's a building.
Right.
It's a fucking building.
Well, it was in the vestibule. Hopefully that matters, but maybe it doesn't. But
no, but no matter what, it's a building, and they weren't killing anybody. They were making love. You
could relate to this though. So the company had Howard and you guys in the morning, and it had me and Anthony in afternoons, and we were crushing an afternoon drive. And I always had in the back of my head, you know, when you're delivering those type of ratings and the amount of money they were bringing in, I could say whatever the fuck I want on the radio as long as I didn't F with the FCC rules, right? Oh,
right, that they would have your back.
Oh, boy, did I make a mistake. We had a 40-something share in Cleveland. We were number one, New York, Boston, Washington. There's a few more markets, Philadelphia. And
I think number one in the world is don't fuck with the Catholics in Boston.
Well, I mean, but it was a corporate umbrella. What Mel Carmenson got scared that it would not only affect the radio division, could affect all these other divisions. Right. And I was showing the door, and man, I was depressed for 2+ years over that one. So
why don't you just go home and pray?
Yeah. But I got to say about the mayor's prank, because it was brought up today. So late in Mayor Menino's life, he came to Sirius XM. He was pushing a book. I tried to get him on the show so bad, and I told everybody, you know, that could get to him and all, I want to apologize, because I was a dopey shock jock back then.
Right.
And, I had some reflection, and I decided, it's the right thing to do. Right to the end, he didn't want anything to do with me. And I was like, but I at least got the word out that I was sorry and that I want to, say it publicly to his face.
You made your bones.
He passed, whatever.